Hello, my name is Beijing Desai. I'm an employee at Sophron Networks LLC. And today, we're going to be taking a deep dive into our new AI assistant chatbot called Sophron AI. So what is Sophron AI? It is a chatbot assistant web application that allows users to chat with their own data and with Meta's large language model, Llama 3. And it is based on the concept of retrieval augmented generation, or RAG for short. So why is RAG important? Well, let me explain how large language models are trained. Usually they're trained on a subset of data, and that data doesn't really have the specifics, and it may not be up to date depending on when the model was trained. But with RAG, you can upload your documents and you can talk to your own data and make your data work for you. So you get more accurate responses, and then you can get domain-specific answers. Like, for example, let's say you're a financial analyst with market data, and you want to figure out some of the trends that you're seeing. Well, using our app, you can upload said data and then talk to it without having to comb through it all by yourself. So now that you know what it is, let's talk about how it works. So if you look towards the left, you can see that the technologies we've used are Python, Streamlit, a Python package, Qdrint vector database, Llama index, and Ollama. And if you direct your attention to the right, you can see a diagram. And I'll lead you to this diagram and explain what the chatbot is actually doing behind the scenes. So users will mainly be interacting with the Streamlit user interface, where they will have the ability to upload documents as well as query the chatbot. And in the Python backend is where the magic happens. So whenever the user uploads their documents, the first thing that happens is that those documents are broken down into tiny chunks that are easier to work with. Then they are embedded and turned into vectors. Now, vectors are just a mathematical concept that are used to do comparisons as well as easier storage and retrieval. And they are stored in, you guessed it, the vector database. And whenever the user queries the chatbot, two things happen. First, the query itself is turned into vectors, and then the vector database will retrieve all of the information that most closely aligns with those vectors and return them to the prompt template. And second, what also happens is that user query is combined with said context and the directive for the LLM, basically a nice, neat, and organized way of telling the LLM, hey, I have this question, I have this information, and I want to answer it in this way. So that complete prompt with all that information and that organization is then sent to the large language model, which we have currently running on Ollama. And once that large language model creates a response, the response is sent back to the interface, and that is what the user will see. But enough for the diagrams. Why don't we take a little bit of a walkthrough? So this is what the user will see whenever they access the application. And I would like to highlight that you are able to ask the model questions without necessarily putting any documents in. We can say, why is the sky blue? And it's thinking, so we will let it think, and we'll be right back. Awesome. So here's the answer. Rayleigh scattering. It's pretty cool. So now we can go ahead and try uploading some documents. So if you look here, we do accept Word docs, text documents, and PDF docs as well. So if we click on this, we can browse our computer for the files. So right here, I have information on Llama 2. It's just a research paper detailing how it works and how it is trained. And then some Azure AI research I did when I was looking into different things about AI. So go ahead and click on these and upload these. So right now, it's been great because it is taking the time to store these documents and create vectors, like I said earlier. So we'll let that work. We'll come back in just a second. Awesome. So it's no longer grayed out, and it looks like we can go ahead and ask our questions. So the first question I'd like to ask is, was to train? And we'll let it think for just a second, and we'll be right back. Awesome. So if we look right here, it looks like there's trained on approximately 2 trillion tokens of data from publicly available sources. Right? And then let's ask our third question. What is measure? Yeah. We'll let that think. Awesome stuff. And there's our answers. So now that we have our answers, and now that you understand how the app works, let's go ahead and go back to the presentation to talk about future improvements. So some improvements that we would like to share in later versions include model selection, because currently we only offer Meta's Llama 3. We'd like to offer prompt customization, which is the ability to just customize how the LLM responds to the context it's given and how it answers its questions. Agentic RAG is the next offering, which basically means that we'd like to offer the ability to talk to multiple sources, including those online, such as Wikipedia or other websites. And the model and the app will then choose between different responses to generate the best response. And we'd also like to offer the ability to have multiple chats at the same time and have history of those chats saved. And the final thing that we'd like to offer is the ability to self-host, because there are some concerns with individuals who work in, let's say, a private sector or for the government and have sensitive data that cannot be allowed to be put on the cloud. We would like to offer the ability to host this by yourself, so you can still talk to your data, but it's completely local, completely disconnected, completely offline, and is secure. And that is pretty much it. So thank you for taking the time to watch this and learn about Sophron AI. And again, my name is Beijing Desai, and this is Sophron AI. Thank you.